Legend of Mana, no joke, is one of my all-time favorite games. I played this back when it was released in the US. I've beaten the game on the PSOne with every weapon available in the game on a single save file. And this remaster is, for me, something I never expected to happen. I never expected this game to finally be given its due, and I'm probably the worst person to really review it. I try to be objective in these situations, I try to give every game an unbiased review, but in this case, I don't think that's possible. I love this game too much. And this remaster is nearly perfect in my eyes. It's everything I could have wanted. So what is Legend of Mana? It's an action RPG with combat that is very similar to side-scrolling beat-em-up games with a non-linear storyline. You build the world as you go, unlocking new areas, stories, and cities, trying to piece the world back together after a great tragedy. Your overall goal is to find the Mana Tree, and to do this you must complete one of the game's three primary storylines: the Jumi, the Fairies, or the Dragons. You can of course complete all three in one playthrough, should you wish, but you really only need to beat one of them. You go through the game by wandering exquisite 2D hand-drawn areas, leveling up by defeating enemies and bosses, and completing storylines for various NPCs. You can also harvest fruit in your home base, you can craft weapons and armor, raise animals as fighting companions, create musical instruments that are magical and cast spells, and even build a golem to accompany you on your journey. As you explore, you will engage in combat, and like I said, it's very similar to a side-scrolling beat-em-up game like Streets of Rage. You'll get locked to a screen, you can move up, down, left, and right on that screen. You will have a light attack and a heavy attack that can combo together. Two abilities that you can customize for things like jumping, crouching, taunting, and so on. And then four special attack buttons that can either be weapon-based special attacks or spells that you equip from the magical musical instruments. There's also a new Game Plus mode once you've beaten the game that allows you to carry over progress. To explore and expand the world, you're going to get these things called artifacts, which are literally pieces of the world, and you place them down on a map that you will choose at the start of your adventure. The placement of these artifacts unlock new areas, such as dungeons or cities, and the enemy scaling is based on the distance from your home point. The level of customization in this game is fantastic. Although, admittedly, the disjointed feeling of the game at times can feel a bit odd. I don't mind it personally, as I prefer small, self-contained stories in many games, and that's what this game excels at. I love it. I love every second of this game. The world is beautiful, hand-drawn, and the remaster simply makes it pop even more. The music, both the original and remastered soundtracks, which you can switch to on the fly at any time, are fantastic. Ruined Sparkling City, which is one of my favorite tracks, is involved in the Jumi storyline. It's just a haunting musical theme. And this remaster just makes all of it better. One thing that truly surprised me, though, was the fact that the translation seems to be improved. For instance, here is the PSOne scene right at the start of the game when you meet a cat merchant named Nicolo. Look at what he says. Oh, hey Nico, what's up? Out of the way, please! It's important to share. Now, you can kind of get the idea of what he's saying here. It's important to share as in reference to sharing the space, the walkway, etc., but it always looked kind of odd, you know? It's weird. Well, here's how the remaster does it. This makes much better sense, and I'm very happy to see this. Much of the dialogue that was poorly translated has been improved from what I've conceived. Finally, you can save almost anywhere now, which is excellent, before you had to go back home and talk to your bed. And we get access in this remaster to a minigame that we did not have in the US release called Ring Ring Land, which involves the animals that you can raise and take along with you. Do I think you should play this game? Hell yes I do! Hell yes I do! This is a personal favorite, and it's easily worth the $40 in my opinion. The only real problem I have is with the disjointed nature of the questing, but given that each story that you experience is, by and large, self-contained, even when it connects to one of the three main storylines, it doesn't really hurt the game overall. as I said, I'm the worst person to be talking about this game because I have a genuine love of it. I've always loved it. I've loved it for the past 20 years. I never thought this would happen. When it got announced, I immediately bought it. No questions asked. And I would have ripped this remaster apart if it did not do the game justice. But it does. As always, I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you like what I do, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications for more Let's Plays, reviews, and other videos as I do them. You can also visit me on Patreon, patreon.com/terminallynerdy, to show up in the credits here and, support my nonsense. As always, stay nerdy, treat each other kindly, and I'll catch you on the next one. And this one's for you, Christian. Take care, everyone.